how's it going, YouTube? I still can't really stream, my internet's still being terrible, but hopefully it'll be over soon and we'll be able to get back streaming. And meanwhile, I still want to give you guys some YouTube content. So today we're playing the new Artifact deck. It's a deck that I've been playing this expansion a lot. I really do enjoy it. Shout out to Side Games for making artifacts a lot better. I like that it doesn't play like the old Artifact decks at all. So I play this a lot. We haven't had a video on it, so I figured out it's time. I miss streaming, but hopefully we can do that soon, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Alright, so we're out here in the wild against, hey, look at that, another Portal player. Not sure how this will go, but no, we'll do our best. Again, I said this in the last video, but it's weird to play Shadowverse without streaming, but we'll still, you know, have fun with it. For us, early on I want Colony and Modesty. I think those are like the two most important cards, right? To ensure that we have good early game. We have Colony, which is nice, and we picked up the Sauce and Shion. The early game can be a bit weird. Sometimes you play for tempo and sometimes it's just like setting up for future things, right? But going first, happy to have the Colony, and the overall me is okay. We'll hold her for, I don't know, something. I'm assuming the opponent is also playing artifacts, but you know, there's Machina, Portal out there, people playing Baphomet, and it's not too crazy, but I played it a bit in the pre-release, and I don't know. I found the artifact deck to just be a lot more fun overall. Synchronization changes things. I could probably get the Beyblade spell right away, and I think that's what we'll do. Don't have a shift yet. The Golem can, you know, hold it down. If it survives, we can copy it, which is really good. And hopefully we draw the Modesty, like I was saying. But this is like okay early game. Sometimes we get really, really awkward early game. Also, I feel like I still really, really need a haircut badly, but we're managing, I guess. I hope that you guys are okay, and the YouTube content has been going well, so, you know, that's nice. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Okay, just taking the trade. I don't want to play Strike Form for 4. Augmentation is not doing anything yet. Well, Mia's not great either, so although I don't want to play Strike for 4, I mean, I have no other option, right? It would have been better if I got the these two the other way, right? Taking the rush to clear the 2/2 and then get the ward after. But that's Colony, right? You don't know which one you're gonna get. Okay, so he gets a Paradigm Shift. It's gonna get a really strong ward clear here as well. I personally would like to draw Modesty. Believe Modesty to be the best draw that we have. Okay, let's see what Magnagine fetches. Could have played Shift for 5, and I wonder if that would have been okay. Because now I'm just like super off curve, and this is not going too well. Maybe I should just play Shift for 5 and gone there. Gromia is pretty weak. Don't want to trade against the 1/1. I guess I could do this and be a little bit greedy. Because potentially I'd take 9 damage if he was the face, and maybe he would. So I was talking about having awkward early games. This is awkward early game where I don't have the Modesty, and Romias are okay, but I don't have other artifacts. So it's kind of awkward. He's got, I think that's 3 shifts now, and the Colony as well. I think he should heal the phase. I mean, he doesn't have to, but it'd definitely be a lot of pressure, I feel like. Especially because my turn was so weak, right? Alright, well, I feel like we're still just losing really badly. Paradigm Shift for 5 is just so expensive. Like, so expensive, right? What else am I doing, though? Like, literally nothing, playing Realmias, and that's it. I can just clear the board, as I have no artifacts. I guess I wish we had artifacts, huh? So let's say we go Artisan, and I just use the Realmias to clear. Like, we have triple Shift in hand, but without any artifacts, it's, like I said, a little bit awkward, right? He had an Evo phase. I guess I can also not Evo, but I don't like our chances because he could start Evo in the phase with the Shift Airstrike artifacts. I don't know the names of these too well. I mean, we just call them Beyblades, right? One has Drain, one has Ward, one goes face. Pretty good card though. And you know, I really like artifacts playing this way. I think it's a lot better than the old way artifacts were played, and you know, really shout out to Side Games, because like they could have just, like, artifacts came out and they were kind of bad, then they were really good, and then they're really bad, right? And when they were good, it's just abusing cards like Augmentation and Deus Ex Machina, and they could have just, you know, always done that and pushed that. But I'm glad they came up with a different way to play artifacts, which is, you know, the Paradigm Shift way. And I personally like this a lot better. It's a lot more fun, and you know, it works, which is a big deal, right? Because like, you want the artifacts to be playable, since one of the core things that Portal can do, but it's nice that they could do it a different way is what I'm trying to say. I appreciate that. Like, just because a deck or an archetype was played a certain way in the past doesn't mean it always has to be that way, right? Kind of like how Earthroom went from being like a really grindy, wardy deck to becoming a burn deck. I like when they do things like that. Okay, now it's gonna be the face. See, if you hit it with the face last turn, I guess we would have evoed over it, right? Okay, so what am I actually doing? Still basically no artifacts, but something like Augmentation, Rebel Against Fate, and see what we pick up. Never got Modesty. Would really wanted just the Modesty. Would have been so nice. Like it's Saws, but not amazing, but you know, could help. Or I just copy another one of these, which is probably better since I really need to just discount the paradigm shifts, right? I can also play an Analyzing since it's basically free. Maybe that's the way to go. Another Sauce. I don't think Sauce is the way here. We'll just copy one of these because I really want to, again, really want to discount the shifts, and then that's the best thing that I could personally do right now, I think. Okay, so how are we doing this? Fair to say these two are always answering. I'm E1 over this thing just because why not? And then I'm holding Colony for the 9 play points at this point. Okay, these two get answered, my paradigm shifts become really cheap and we can drain from them. So even though I have 7 life, we can make a comeback. He hasn't played Modesty either, so we might be okay on that. Like, I'm going first, so we can play Colony, but it's not doing that much, and without Modesty, it's kind of whatever. Like, ideally, you have Modesty to clear the board in the mid game or push face damage. The Mugnier, it's kind of BM, kind of like my last words. It only really cost me 1 card though, the ward is kind of whatever. Okay, how do I win this? It's some combination of like Sauce plus Beyblades, right? We get some cheaply costed Beyblades and then we put some sauce on them. I think that's the way to go. Okay, now he's not quite going phase, but I'm gonna definitely start draining. Okay, so I really want to evo this, but if I play that, I can't drain and I need to drain. So maybe the play is something like take the drain and I just double sauce. Double sauce gives me so much stats and so much life gain, which I think makes it the correct play.
The quickest silver.
Oh, seems okay, right? Gonna heal 7, it's so much. We could even evo the phase. Okay, so this is always happening. I'm not gonna evo this because I have enough life now, right? Why not? Let's see with the phase. We have Colony next turn, or I could play the Paradigms to get the Storm one. Like, this is so much damage. Maybe if he can't answer the board and one of these gets to go face again, I think we would definitely just win. I mean, he still has an Evo, but we have an 8-9, a 3-3, and a 7-6. That seems good. I thought this game was looking really bad for us in the early to mid game, but like I said, he didn't get Modesty either, so I guess we were okay. And although I had sort of an awkward start, once I did the Augmentation play into the Rebel Against Fate, it kind of like came together. Okay, Duplicator, it's really strong, but he's only getting 3 artifacts, not even getting the 4. Although it is going to let him clear pretty much the full board, right? Granted, he has to trade everything to do so. And then I'm just going to start going face, right? Like, this is 3. I could do 4 here with these two. Colony is doing 6. Okay, well, I should make it so that Colony wins the game next turn, right? That's what we should do. I wonder if I just drain against them. I'm not scared of dying, right? How many different artifacts does he have destroyed? Only 3. No, I'm not scared of dying. So we should be going phase. So the play should be something like, let's say this is always happening, right? And then we're playing the Storm one, the Ward one. Clear this, we push face damage. Once these two are down, I think that puts us out to 8, which 8 plus 2 here is going to be lethal. I have 2 wards, so there's no way that I die here. His Colony doesn't do much, so I think we're good. You know, what we're doing is playing artifacts with different names, and it's working according to plan. I still wish that we had a Modesty for the game, but we can win without it, which is a big deal, right? Like, the deck is not solely relying on it, which is nice. I also really appreciate how some cards like Burdick's Colony, you know, were considered like complete garbage. And like so quickly, now they become pretty juicy cards. It's quite nice. I think this game is ours to take. Like, what am I scared of? Rob Mia? No, right? Colony means he just loses. This Colony clears this, he takes 2 damage. And then my Colony is doing... Oh wait, I was 1 off lethal. Okay, hold on. Wait, I actually could lose because I miscounted. It feels bad, man. This can give me a Radiant, right? But it doesn't do anything. Colony at least gives me another ward. So I think that's still the play. I miscounted my different armor cards by... Oh, it's because this one didn't die. right? Because he didn't kill the ward one. But obviously once I clear his colony with mine, then we get the easy lethal. So I guess it works out just as planned, right? Artifact still one of the harder decks to play, but perhaps that makes it more enjoyable, right? And I hope that guy didn't think I was BMing him, because I was just trying to figure out, and it worked out okay, I guess. We'll take it. Alright, so far so good. We'll see what other clowns we encounter in the Shadowverse ranked ladder. Haven with 21 master points. I mean, Haven's one of those classes that I think was kind of slept on. If you guys go back and watch my other videos, I already did a video on Haven because I thought the deck was pretty solid. With the correct draws, Haven can be pretty strong. And it looks like people are realizing that now, right? Maybe the builds are a bit different, but I think the idea is the same. Try and just make boards that cannot be answered. But, you know, if Haven becomes a more popular deck and a better deck, then I think that's a good thing. Just give us a little bit more variety in the meta, which is always welcomed. For this matchup specifically, I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but we'll try and just, you know, clear his board and eventually let Colony close the game out. Okay, once again, I don't have Modesty, but this is a pretty decent opening hand. Artisan on 2, Rebel against Fate on 4 going first is pretty solid. Well, no, it's still good, right? We can make this work. Like, Augmentation Rebel against Fate on 5 could be okay. I can always draw more artifacts, right? I was talking about how the artifact plays different, and one of the things that I really enjoy about the deck now is that instead of putting artifacts into your deck and then just hoping that you draw them later on, the way it works now is that you just put artifacts into your hand, which is infinitely better because you could just use them, right? It's such a small... Okay, there's the Modesty. It means we just passed this turn, but I have good follow-up. But it's such a small change, you know, it's like, well, the artifact is put shit in your deck, never draw it. The artifact is like, put it in your hand, you could use it whenever you want, right? It makes such a big difference in how you play and how it feels to play the class. And I don't know, like, I wasn't a huge fan of Portal before, but I can tell you it's so much more enjoyable now. I wish I could play this last turn, but it's okay. We're still discounting a Beyblade spell already. I think the trade is fine. I mean, he could heal. Maybe it's better to trade here and just keep a 3-1. Is that crazy? I wonder if that's insane, but I'm doing it. So we have Modesty. Augmentation, I need to find just a good spot to play it, I guess. You might play like Ilana here, for example, right? Limoni is also pretty strong. Like, Haven has some good stuff. I think the class, you know, how do I say this? Like, maybe they're not top tier, but like, they shouldn't be slept on, right? Like, Haven can have plays and turns that are super, super powerful. Limoni is still a great card. Okay, I could do Augmentation Rebel against Fate now. And maybe copy another one. That seems reasonably okay. Don't play Modesty yet, but play later on. Because with double Augmentation, I don't want to just sit in those. So I think using them is fine. We also get a Tisiphone out of that, which is pretty good. I don't mind Tisiphone. Let me get another Beyblade spell. I can get the Analyze in. I wonder what's better. I think another spell... Think about it like Analyzing's a different artifact with a different name, right? But so is the Shift, and Shift is way better. So let's do it like so. This clears, I push 3 phase damage. And with double Beyblade spell in hand, 1 cost and 5 already. I still have an Augmentation. We have the Modesty, and Tisiphone could be good. One of those cards where like, maybe we never play Tisiphone the entire duel, and like that's acceptable, right? But there's that chance that Tisiphone just wins the game. So... nice to have. It's not Electo-chan, so you know. Can always be happy we didn't get the Electo-chan, which is like 90% apparently. So he has Limonia to discount the stuff, and it's really strong because the Salvation spells can be used to fuse into the Almachinas, which you know, enables some crazy stuff. But also lets you play things, you know, for cheap, which is always good. Here's the Ilana. Okay, I think it's fair to say that his next couple turns are going to start to get real crazy. So, while I have a bit of a lead, we should try and just push that, I think. Using Modesty to start to get phase damage in seems okay. Although I believe it's only at 2 right now, right? I wish I had 1 more play point. I can let the leader effect just, you know, do its job, I guess. I feel like I always should be with Modesty right now, right? Can't imagine how this turn goes. The downside of the way we play the deck now is that Axel Modesty is actually really bad. But aside from that, you know, Modesty is just so great. Like, I could trade, but I'd rather get Augmentation value. Just let the leader effect clean up. Not a the greatest turn, but I clear the board. We get the leader effect established, which I think is still pretty worthwhile. So my next turn is probably something like Jobber, Ancient Artifact, play Augmentation first, obviously, right? So draw 1 here, 2 here, probably Evil Analyzing, draw some more, and then just see what happens. See if we can overwhelm him with the Modesty leader effect. Like if I can go crazy turn 7 with the artifacts to set up my Beyblades, maybe Tisiphone on 8 and I draw Colony by 9, could be okay. He's gonna have some heal, but he's at 13 right now. I'm gonna go for the second Alana. It's gonna make it harder for me to clear the board, but you know, if he only has like 1 really big guy or 2, then that's where Tisiphone shines. He's also out of evils now. I'm okay with this. I mean, he's not playing repair mode, so he could fuse with Justine on his score SB. That lets him proc the Alana with no play points, but he does not. And a Technomancer is a great draw. Okay, so let's just start drawing, right? Augmentation. And play this. We're gonna draw Magna Giant. I'm gonna copy it. I do want to play the Jobber, right? Hold on, I gotta be smart about this. You're gonna play another one. Like, these are basically free, which is really nice. Board space is a thing as well. Do I want another Beyblade spell? I don't think so, right? But I'm not gonna have board space for this dude. Unless I trade the 1/1 in. Which is gonna look weird, but I think it's way better, right? Because I need the board space. So now it's gonna be like, play this, take the Analyzing. Because remember we have Modesty leader effect, right? So I could play the expensive Paradigm Shift, and then I could set up for a Realmia Paradigm Shift next turn for potential lethal, which seems about right. Pretty sure we're supposed to just go face here. I can't imagine that not being correct. And since Realmia Evil's for free and I'm just looking for lethal, I also think it's okay to Evil face now. Okay, so the leader effect isn't doing that much yet, but once these 2 get answered, it'll do more. This does 2 damage in last words, and then we're looking at Realmia Paradigm Shift for lethal next turn. He could have wards with like Father Refinement, right? But if he's playing that, then he's probably not really doing anything else, right? And at worst, we always have the young Tisiphone to fall back on. A lot of these decks aren't playing Kel anymore, which may seem weird, but I mean, it is weird, right? But hey, they're not playing Kel, that's on them, right? And like, don't get me wrong, maybe it's better without Kel, as weird as that may seem, I don't know. My build had Kel. Kel's a good card. Can't imagine not playing him, but it is what it is. Anyway, he's gonna do his best to clear the board, but I don't know, like double Alana would be good. You know, with this guy, it gets really, really crazy. But if his board is like 99, 99, 99, 99, but he's still just dead, like it doesn't matter, right? So how much can he really heal? How much can he really clear? And I think the answer is not enough. Not nearly enough, right? There's the Justine heal. I wonder if he top decked that. Because if he could have used it last turn, he definitely should have. Okay, we have way overkill. So he had Alanas, he had Lemonia, he had the Reverend, the Justine. But I think he was just setting up just a little bit too slow, and it's nice to know we have enough burst to close it out, right? Alright, here we go. We have a blood game, which is nice. I was trying to record, you know, got a bunch of Haven players for some reason. Just a bunch of Haven players. It's actually really weird, but here's blood, which is good. I want to get a match against, you know, blood or dragon, since they're considered the top classes. But everyone playing Haven out there. I do have a video on Haven, you know, but anyway, up against blood. Could be Machina blood, could be Avarice blood, could be full-on Natura blood. That's the thing. Maybe that's what I should play. I enjoyed that deck. Although I also enjoyed the other blood deck. Maybe I just enjoy blood in general. It's a nice class right now. Mecha William would tell you that he's just a full-on Machina experience. Modesty is really nice. This is what I'd call a pretty good early game hand, you know? We have 2-drop, 3-drop, Modesty. Pretty much exactly what you want to see. Machina Blood's still pretty scary. I was beating Machina Blood left and right with the Avarice Blood, but I don't know. Machina Blood's super, super scary. Armor Bat. Remember when Portal could banish? I remember those days. Pick up another Jobber. I wonder if I should just play this, because I'm more on curve. Or maybe even this just to get another Beyblade spell. I wonder if that would be considered a waste. I actually think it's better. Crazy as that may seem. Because I can play Modesty on curve or the Jobber and get a third shift. This early on should be very good, I think. Turn 5 could be like Roll Against Fate or something like that. We'll see, depending on what the board state is. I can decide on what I want to do, right? Because Modesty is not doing anything much yet, so maybe it's better to not play Modesty just yet, right? Okay, Noon's pretty good. Gets a bunch of dudes out there. Okay, let's do... Okay, Golden Jobber. So we'll have 3 paradigm shifts. Do Modesty next turn or Rebel Against Fate.
Let me show you what all the pros get lost.
Not the greatest trade, since a 6-1 just gets the answer for free. But I mean, Noon's just really strong, right? Going first. Now we'll likely see Mecha Shot Evo is what I expect. Yep. So almost like I've played this game before and then set up for an area. Maybe that's like about as good as the curve goes for him, right? Double droids on 2, Black and a Bat on 3, Noon on 4, Mecha Shot and set up for an area. So now I have to think of like, okay, you know, how do I beat the Naria, right? That's the real question. And gonna be rough. I wonder if we just set up for the Modesty now. Or is Modesty better next turn? Like Modesty clears the board and that's all she does, and maybe that's fine, right? But then I think I lose to an area. Especially if he pre-was the Behemoth. I don't know if I can beat that. Because he also gets a free 1/1 too from the Mecha Shot. I float a play point, I can't place because I don't have Artifact. It's kind of bad. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of cards in hand, but he goes to 5, which is good enough. There's always the chance that he doesn't have Naria, and he played the Night Prowl hoping that he would get it. But he's had everything else, so it's not surprised he does have the Naria too. Okay, so Naria alone clears. We'll see if he pre-evos. Either way, it's gonna be pretty hard for me to answer. Like, pretty hard for me to answer the board, right? What if I just play the Paradigm Shift for 6? At least clears the Flood Behemoth. So that's something. I mean, it's an artifact. It gets the other ones out there. And even though Naria would lower his attack, the Drain would still kill her if he wants to make that trade, I guess. Not the worst. Yo, 1 damage to her. Not the greatest turn though. That was definitely rough. We'll see what his follow-up is like. Like now if you play Sal Machinas, deals 3 damage to this and then draws, you know, 4 cards. Okay, at least he didn't get the Evo out of that, and I think I'm okay with that. If he wants to just cash in the phase damage from the Naria, I think we could deal. Okay, that's actually pretty fine. He just, well, granted his other curve was really good, so I think I'm okay with this. Want to play Roll Against Fate. I already have 2 Beyblades. I shouldn't get too worried about, you know, playing more of those. You just get worried about discounting them, right? So it should be like Roll Against Fate, pick up a Tisiphone, or the useless ass Electochan. Sauce is not what I want to do, but I can copy this, which is good because, you know, it's just more artifacts. I could play this, let Leader Effect clean this up, or we double trade, and I copy another one. Maybe that is the way to go. Just have a bunch of, you know, 1.3 that will help me discount the paradigm shifts. And we start pushing some face damage with the Leader Effect at the cost of a 3/1. Okay. I mean, he didn't have a Machinas last turn, so I think we might be okay. And if I get the shifts really low, you know, in combination with the sauce, maybe that's how I win the game. Is there any world in which Electochan is played? Probably not. Electochan definitely the worst of the Furies, but he's there to waste space, I guess. Okay, another area. That it though? And a Robo Goblin. Okay, these nerds are not Machina followers. We can sauce though. It does save them. Probably should sauce it up, right? Something like... Okay, let's take the drain, right? Oh, but I have to sauce first? I guess that's fine, right? Okay, so this goes to 5 attack. Oh, if I double attack, these die though. Oh, okay, no, that's my bad. Mistakes have been made, right? The power of the clash. I guess I should trade one of them in though. That would be the correct play, right? Okay, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe mistakes were not made. This one dies, which is okay, right? If this one costs 2, we can get a ward with this. I can make it cost 1 too if I just trade this in. The colony is doing a cool 3 damage so far. What if I take another drain one? I guess we just want different names, right? I could even take Airstrike to clear the 1/1. And then go face, so Leader Effect clears this. I think that's maybe the best I could do. I don't have any more Beyblade spells, but we have Colony to potentially close the game out. It's doing 3, which is not a ton, but you know, these 2 will add to that. Alright, there's the Almachinos. Only drawing 2 though. Maybe he has the mono in hand that we have to be scared of, right? This guy had like a really strong early game, and then he didn't have like the perfect curve after, but this is now like a pretty close game, I would say. We can definitely still lose this. Okay, is this the Electochan dream? Probably not. Probably the duplicator dream, because that sounds really good. I mean, Electochan would clear this, and then I get... Like, Electochan's a lot of board. Am I making the Electochan play? She's so useless, though. Alternatively, I play duplicator, I trade, and I play artisan after. Isn't that just way better? What do I feel like that's way better? Is it, though? Electochan, duplicator? A lot of options. Okay, so this is always happening, right? And then LuisThePanda's gonna clean that up. So I can either play Electochan, get a nutty board, or play duplicator, get a nutty board. And I guess Electochan is the play then. Call me crazy. I mean, it's a lot of stats. It's so much stats. Could I die? I'm at 17. If I play duplicator, we could try and drain to get to 20, just to be like a bit safer. But I guess if he like triple monos me, then he deserves it, right? Okay, I'm pretty sure that means we're not dead. Think. He could have Technolord to clear, right? His Technolord is doing a respectable 14 damage. 15 if he trades the 1-1. And we have 15 health on the board, right? But Colony is doing a cool 10. So not quite. Okay, there's one mono. Means he's not playing Technolord. Which means he just loses then. And now Colony definitely ends the game on the spot. Well, Electochan was not useless this game. Let the record show, maybe not the worst card of all time. Like, I had a nutty early game, but you know, we stabilized in the mid game, and I don't know, Modesty's nice. Artifact, pretty fun deck. If you guys have not played it, I highly recommend it. I'll post the deck list down below in the comments, and hopefully I can stream soon, but even if I can't, I will try and keep the YouTube videos coming, so I hope you guys are enjoying those. Later.